Oh, yeah. Good morning, all. Hope all are having a wonderful Monday so far. Happy January the 12th. Kicking a Monday off. Your blast off is here from the Southern Patriots. I'm the Cornbread man, Dave in the AM. Good morning, Miss Ashley. Thank you for the love there. Feeling the love over here in Northwest Georgia. Appreciate that very much, and all the rest of you coming in loud and proud. Just making sure all boats are up and running today. We are again going live on multiple streams, including Podbean, which we appreciate. We are an affiliate with Podbean. We do have a QR code. I got to get those finished up and back up. If you want to become a podcaster, you say, I don't want to be on camera. Well, we can do that through Podbean, which will feed multiple other MP3 sites. We can save you the first month, which is about $14. Not bad to be a podcaster. You got something you want to say once a day, once a month, once a quarter, doesn't matter. And Podbean could be a great choice for you. And we appreciate those that are coming in. It's a great community of folks, like it is at Rumble. Get your free Rumble app. Protect the Republic, because most of them will. They'll just do all kinds of things to your stream. If they don't like, the algorithm, they'll just squeeze you out. Nobody will hear you, see you, whatever. If they don't, or they'll just drop you. I know ministries and others have been dropped by multiple other streams. They got out of line. They didn't like something they said. Freedom of speech being crushed. Rumble, you got to really work hard at it if you're gonna get Rumble to do that to you. They're great, and they don't have any big advertisers because of that. They do stand for free speech. Get your Rumble, go Rumble Premium. It's less than $10 a month, and that's not bad. And then you can get all that great programming as well from friends of ours like Killer Carl, Kim's Coffee Talk. But you should be coming live at 6:30 this morning on a Monday from Woodstock, Georgia, and Empty Pockets podcast, Angry Conservative 1981, Half Pine Forge Live. And I'm probably leaving out some folks right now, but those are some of the ones that we are very close to. We appreciate them very much. Been friends to us from the beginning, pretty much, when we were on Rumble. Reached out to us. They are broadcasting daily, mostly, just about every day, a defense of the Republic. And the Republic needs defending. A lot of nuts out there. Be careful of the nuts as you go out into the community, into your jobs. They're all around us. You just never know when you're going to run up on one. We had one in our town, and they ran from the police and ran the wrong way, excuse me, and hit multiple people, multiple entrapments. And, it isn't amazing. I know people have had, everybody's had an experience, or maybe not everybody, but a lot of people have had, you've ran up on the wrong person who is in the wrong profession in anything. I mean, they're just not a good fit for the profession they're in. And probably everybody has maybe had one or more. Sometimes I question when they say it's every time because I wonder what they're doing. But anyway, they run up on a bad officer. So a police officer, they just say it was a bad interaction. Maybe they were smart alecks. Maybe they said things they didn't think they should, or maybe they just flat out thought they did them wrong. Okay, I get it. But those people that say it happens every interaction, I wonder what world they're living in, because I've never had but one that the guy, we just disagreed on a thing because I thought he got mad, so just telling me the law, and I've mentioned that on air. But all my interactions have been friendly. I obey the law. I just wonder about that. But this particular reason I'm saying this is because as soon as you have any sort of police action, there'll be half the people in chat will be just trashing the police. The scumbags, Nazis, every one of them's horrible. I'm thinking, for what they're making and what they face every day out there, come on, But again, what lifestyle are you living, Because if you're, I get it. We could have things that happen. Like I said, bad people in the wrong profession, or maybe in any profession, they're just bad people. It can happen. But my interactions have been really wonderful. I've had a lot of assistance from police. I have had a lot of appreciation. I've met many wonderful Christian police who have uh, talked about Jesus on the side of the road and wished me well. And in those cases, I had done a traffic turn that was illegal or something. I didn't realize I did it. They're very kind. Didn't even give me a warning. Just said, "Hey, where you at?" I'm going to church. Well, I saw all that food. I wish I could come. Have a great day. Be safe out there. But I just wonder about that. These people that see ICE coming down the road. Like these loonies. I mean, they're all over the nation. And they're out there playing blocker like it's Smokey the Bandit. They got on the CB and they've been running blocker. Shutting down the roadways and stuff. Breaker. Nutcases get in the road. We got to stop these ICE people from getting illegals and bad people, rapists, thieves, people that have attacked, domestic violence, whatever. We got to stop these people. They're bad. They're just doing a job. Stopping people from doing their job, coming down your road. Just get out of the way. Just let them do their work. They'll be out of the way pretty quick. It doesn't take long to extract somebody usually. That's why they come in the numbers they have. They come or keep everybody safe. Now they have to not only worry about the person they're extracting that may want to act up, they got to worry about all these loonies running up and down the road, blocking their car, blowing whistles. This new slogan they got. Nutcases always have slogans. You ever notice that? They've got slogans. They sing songs. So they got little sayings. The latest one is they came with guns. We came with whistles. No, you came with a lethal weapon called a vehicle. They try to make it sound so innocent. We had whistles and they've got guns. Come on. They always have these little, snippy, good morning, boys. They always have these really stupid sayings, blank, no, we won't go. It's stupid, just saying it over and over again. They get their little microphones and they're blasting, they're blowing their horns. In fact, this lady was dancing to the tune of her horn, which, by the way, it wasn't a good tune. It was her swan song. I mean, that was it. That was the last song. I mean, of all the things she could have been doing, listening to music on that morning. Good morning, Brother Morgan. Neil, looking forward to them being with us. We just booked them, by the way, at our church. Yeah, looking forward to that. But of all the songs she could have been listening to, I don't know if they had anything on the radio. I always wondered, what music do you air? We need to do that list one night. Maybe this week we'll do that. What music do you air is on your playlist that you're pumping into your radio when you're going out to be the ICE, blocker? You're blocking ICE agents and acting, silly, stupid. What is the song list? Maybe we need to have that. But for her, we do know it was a pretty crappy sound. If you saw that video, her horn, she's using her horn to make up a song and she's dancing to it. That was the last song this lady ever heard or was a part of in her life. It's stupid. We always got these stupid sayings, stupid songs. They're always, I got crappy signs, and just they're usually very vile and nasty and everything else. And I mean, they're loony. They're we used to have people that would come along. Back in my, when I was young, we had people that would come along and take people like this away. I mean, you just call them, hey, Al's out of control again, on the street. And guys showed up in white jackets, dressed nice. I mean, they had, white suits on, they pulled up in the van, they take the guy and put the little straight jacket on him, and take him away. Al's gone for a little while, maybe forever. Al might have finally went over the edge. He finally just broke, or in a while he got some help and he came back. You just call them up, you call these folks up and, they came and took care of the problem. We're going to need buses now because there's whole loads of them. I mean, they're just everywhere. I mean, they're just crashing, triggered at everything. Trauma triggered, they're called now. They're trauma triggered. While they're out, harassing federal agents or local police or, people just doing their job. They're everywhere. I mean, they're waiting on you out there today. You going to work, they're out there. I don't know if you're running into them today, but they're out there and they're crazy. They're absolute crazy. Demonic. I'll just say demonic. And we got to deal with them. We shouldn't have to deal with this in our day, but we do. It's another trial that we have to deal with. We shouldn't have to have that problem, but we do. And sometimes you just run up on that person. They could be working at the local convenience store you go to. They could be the clerk, at the courthouse. You just never know where you're going to find them. I don't know how they survived till the day you met them, but they're wacko and everybody knows it. And it's like, they're loony. They have no morals. The morals have been shifted out, and they think that they're on a moral high ground. Here's the thing: they think their moral compass is facing right towards hell. I mean, that's where it's at. But they think that they're right. I mean, it's even they talk in matter of fact terms, like everybody understands them. They talk a language nobody understands, but loonies and possessed people. I mean, nobody understands what they're talking about, and they just say crazy stuff, and then they look at you like, see. I mean, what else do I need to say? And you're like, what you just said makes absolutely no sense. It's like the pullover of the police, and they sit in their car and they go, I don't have to get out. That's not legal. That's against the law. But I don't follow the law. I don't follow your laws. I'm a sovereign. I'm this. I'm that. I'm just make up the rules as you go, kind of people. They decide what's the rule is for the day, and then everybody else is expected to follow right in behind them. And I mean, the rules don't apply to them. And we have our own rules. They have their own rules for you, though. And their job every day is to go out and harass you and all of mankind and make you have a horrible day. And then when you act up to a point that you're arrested or lethal action occurs, then you got a whole lot more of these crazies that pour out like cockroaches. They pour out of everywhere. They get busted, and they're getting paid the whole time, and they're probably making more money than me or you are. And who knows if we might even be. Here's the bad part: we might even be paying for it. We don't know where all the money's coming from. We may be actually our tax money may be siphoned off to pay these crazies, and and so they pour out. They bust these people in. They disrupt all of life. They shut down industry. They block entrances. And whatever. And here's one of the things I would say. I cannot for the life of me fathom why ICE even stops. Why would you even stop the convoy? I said this at church yesterday. Yes, at church where we can talk about issues. Why would federal agents even stop for a car blocked in the way? To me, if you were in Iraq, say we land in Venezuela, and there's a bunch of idiots coming out, and we got a column of military going down the road. Is one car pulling out and blocking the road going to stop the military convoy? No. You knock it out of the way, because to stop is to cause potentially, you could be jumped, attacked. It could be all sorts of crazies coming out with their weapons and all. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff could happen. Why would you put all the people in jeopardy to stop for one car? I think at the beginning of the column, they should have a vehicle that is made to handle whatever threat is going to stop them that day or try to stop them. They wouldn't be able to stop them. I would be, picking them up and somehow be able to pick the car up, shove it out of the way, blast it out of the way, whatever. And you would never put your agents in harm like that. Can you imagine? Think of all the disruption that happened before this lady was finally removed. She removed herself, but she even drove off and got out of the way, which still disrupted because now they got to work that scene. But if they had just blasted her out of the way and the column, like, come on, let's go, get on the horse. There's a crazy to the right. We just knocked her off the road. Be careful. She's got somebody outside filming. Wave as you go by. I would have blasted that car right out of the way. And I would have said, we're not putting federal agents in harm's way because you want to block the road. And you do that a couple of times, and people are going to either have to buy a whole heck of a lot more cars or they're going to stop doing it. But the more you encourage that kind of crowd, I mean, think about it. They locked down a federal agents who then were attacked, screamed at, cursed, threatened by, they were people poured out of everywhere. I don't know who all lives on that street, but they were nutso. Did you see all the people coming out, screaming at them, threatening them, calling them all sorts of crazy, there's a whole street load of them. God help you if you were a law-abiding citizen living on that street, because you were having to live with a bunch of idiots. And you put all those agents at threat like that. Well, what if all those people had poured out with shotguns, AKs, 9mm, flamethrowers, whatever? And what if it was all a plan? What if the plan was to stop the convoy, like you see in some movie, and they just start throwing down on all the agents and stuff? Now they got firepower, and they'd have fought back. But look at what could have happened. That should never happen. You should never have this convoy of federal agents going about their way, or any other, whether they're local, state, federal, I don't care. Why would you ever stop the convoy? That is ridiculous. And, of course, it's going to be a couple of violent actions, but you knock them out of the way and you keep moving. You don't let, I mean, come on. It was an SUV. I mean, can we not knock the SUV out of the road? I mean, let's just take care of it. Good morning, Watchman. It's like that movie, Idiocracy. Yes. But they have degrees in underwater basket weaving, and everyone will say the last part. Need to put cow pusher like an old locomotive train job. Well, I mentioned yesterday. Yeah, they are idiots. I mentioned yesterday. It's like in the movie Patton, and the whole column. The whole Sixth Army, whatever. That Patton's got over. They're stopped because there's a cart with a couple of donkeys on a bridge that won't move. And he flies to the front. Like, what are you doing? We can't get the cart to move. The donkeys won't move. He gets out. He takes care of the problem. Now get this column moving. I mean, you got to. I mean, they're all sitting there being, planes are coming and strafing the column, and you're stuck. You've got the whole army stopped, in a war zone because you've got two donkeys in a cart with some old, guy stuck on a bridge. No, Patton says this is how we take care of that. Or 18-wheelers out on the interstate. Remember when we were having all the people stop, travel on our highways, interstate highways. I mean, they were stopping 18-wheelers and climbing on and trying to pull them out of the cabs and stuff like that. No, that's not the way we roll. No, in fact, we'd have kept rolling. And, you don't allow that stuff. You just do not allow that stuff to happen in your country. And this civil disobedience, I mean, that's not protest, folks. That's not protest. That is way past protest. They like to use that word protest. We'll defend our right to protest. Protest is not, good morning, Army Dog. Protest is not stopping an ice column. Protest is not stopping, the highways and byways of commerce and people going to work and doing their thing. That's not protest. That's way beyond protest. At that point, you deal with the action. You have actions that meet the level of threat that you have been given. And then they have to deal with the fallout from that. If they want to go that route and they want to put themselves in harm's way, because that's what they're doing. Good morning, Brother Darrell. If they want to put themselves, thank you, brother. Appreciate you a whole bunch. And God bless you and your family. If they want to put themselves in harm's way in front of a column of federal agents, then you get what you get. I have no sympathy whatsoever for people doing that. And we cannot allow that in our country. Then this same group of crazies that we just talked about, they're going to pour out, and they're going to cry, and every media source, just about every media source is going to roll out, and they're going to interview these same idiots, and they're going to say, tell us what happened. They're going to say, we pulled in front of the column. We were protesting them taking illegals out of here or, whatever. And they ran over us. The media should be going, well, what did you expect to happen? But instead they would go, God bless you. The real Americans, you have a right to shut down federal agents running down the road. How dare they actually think they can do their job? I mean, that's what we have going on. No, instead the media be going, what land of loony did you come from? I mean, did you not understand this? Did they drop on your head as a little child and you just never were? You're one of those candidates for the vans to pull up with a guy in the straight jacket to take away. I mean, can we not have some good media anymore that would actually call out crap like that and say, listen, did your parents not teach you to not pull in front of traffic, play in the traffic, to look both ways? To not, federal agents, you open the door. I worked at a place that was it was a lot more than, we had chlorine gas. We had, it was water treatment. It was huge. It was city of Chattanooga, and I used to do some guarding up there on weekends. And my instruction, I had three main instructions. Number one, I was manning the gate. There were two main gates. We were to man the gates, and first of all, with employees coming in, anybody coming in, employees, they had to show their badge. If they were a visitor, they had to be cleared. You made a phone call on the radio or the phone or whatever, and you say, hey, we got, so-and-so, can they come through? Even truck drivers who used to get mad, didn't matter, you got a job to do. That was number one rule. Number two rule was we have chlorine gas here. If you ever hear the alarm go off for that, they gave me a PowerPoint to read and to sign that I understood. Basically was open gate and run like Hades and hope you live. That was rule number 2. Rule number 3 was if the police of any kind, doesn't matter if they're fishing game, doesn't matter if they're local, federal, state, does not matter. They're in official capacity, fire engines, whatever. You open the gate and get out of the way. They get to go. Oh, it's understood. They patrolled the place because there was dangers there. This is around the time I was a little concerned about terrorism myself, to be honest. And, but to think that you could pull in front of a column of officials doing a job that they're paid to do, their job, they are legally licensed to do, and to think that you can pull in front of that column and stop that is lunacy to me. I cannot for the life of me figure out why you would even allow that to happen. These people should have been drugged off to some federal institution, and their families should not have seen them for a while. And then when they finally get out, they're told, if you ever do something like that again, now listen to me close. And I'm a big believer in I appreciate my citizenship as a citizen of these United States. But you know what? With citizenship comes responsibility. I'm also a citizen of heaven. My name is recorded in the Lamb's Book of Life. Praise God. Heaven is my home. I thank God through the Lord Jesus Christ that I have that. I have a responsibility to act a certain way as a citizen of heaven, as a follower of Jesus Christ. I have a responsibility as a citizen of these United States to act a certain way. And if I cannot act in accordance with what is considered lawful, then I should not be allowed to walk the streets. I should not be allowed, and even at some point, if I become a threat to this country, I should have my citizenship removed. That's available. You can do that. We can jerk your citizenship away, and we'll send you off to some colony somewhere, and you can live out the rest of your days living like animals if that's what you want to do. Being a citizen does not give you the right to disrupt your country, cause threats, hurt people, harm people, just because you don't like what they're doing. That's not in the rule book. I don't know what rule book they think they're living by, but it is not in accordance with the laws of the land. It's like I said, I live in the state of Georgia. The state of Georgia can kick me out of the state. Now, what they do officially, there's one county. I don't know how it is in every other state, but there's one county in Georgia. They can run you if you're kicked out of every county, they kick you out. There's one county. There's nobody there. It's way South Georgia. There's a few thousand. They send you there. You can go there, and you just live how you got to make it the best way you can. But you're done. You're not allowed to travel through the state of Georgia anymore. I know people that have been kicked out of towns. You are not allowed to come back into this town. If you do, we will lock you up for a long, long time. Because why? Because they got on the line with the laws of the land, and they were living like animals and treating everybody else is having to deal with the crazy. I don't want to have to deal with the cray-cray, and nobody else does either, and something should happen to these people when they do that. Let me catch up with the chat here. God bless y'all. Thank you, Adele, for enjoying the show. Watchmen, communists change the meanings of words. Yes, they do. We need to remind them they can't do that. They need to be put in camps and deported to Somaliland. I got no problem. Deportation, if you can't live by that. The Book of Rules for Radicals by Saul Lewinsky. Yes, sir, absolutely. Brother Darrell Broom, the agenda of the elite is a lawless state. Do what thou wilt. The war is coming on those who obey the law of God. It is the law of God which gives us the knowledge of sin. Amen. That's where law comes from. God said, thou shalt not. That's the basis of law. If you want to do what, that in the Bible, they, in the book, the time of Judges, they were doing what, they made their own rules. They did what they thought was right in their own eyes. But there is a standard to live by. All of our laws is based on the law of God. In fact, I've always found it amazing that lots of things in our capital, the operations, the daily operations of things around the capital are built around prayer. They have the images of Moses and the law and all that. And yet they do everything they can to live like, Satan himself and like, the laws of hell or something, because but that's the images they have. They still go through that decorum. That's still there. And yet they expect us to live in this wasteland of crazy, Hey, listen, we know on here we got what it was. Alexander Duncan, who's running for office in the great state of Texas. He's really, if you're not following him, we were blessed to get an interview with him, and he's running for that seat out there with Ken Paxton and some others. He's been telling it like it is on X. If you're not following Alexander Duncan, boy, you need to. He's been lighting it up, and he put out a statistic yesterday that the Dallas Fort Worth area is, I think it's over 20% Muslim now, and Islamic. I mean, and the cities are being morphed into other things. These people do not, many of them or most of them, or in many cases, they don't agree to follow the law of our land. I mean, we know what law they follow, and they may, we've been infiltrated. And through Biden and Obama and others, they've just allowed our borders to become, open sieves that people could come over. And the action that's going on. I mean, look, we got gangs of those from Somalia and others attacking officers. I mean, we're getting ready. I mean, action is getting bad. So that amazes me. If you were on a street in Dearborn, Michigan, or in Minneapolis or something, and which is where they were, are you kidding me? You know what you're facing. There's a huge populace there that hates your guts. They hate this country. They hate law. They hate everything about it. They just take. And you would stop a column because some cray woman is in the middle of the street blowing her horn, dancing to it, and putting lives at danger like that? Are you kidding me? No, we don't do that. Good evening, Faith Walker. Good morning for us. Good evening for you from Korea. But it just baffles me. Why would you do that? You should not allow that. They do that because everybody's running scared that they're going to get in trouble. So they have to check. You remember when Obama said this? Going back to Obama, remember when they were going after the Somali pirates? They were taking over ships. They were going out in their little speedboats and motorboats, climbing AK-47s. These people didn't have no protection. I'm telling you, if I'm the captain of a ship of oil or whatever coming across the seas, my guys are ready for battle. We would be loaded down. We would be ready for these freaks, these evil people coming up trying to take over my ship. But anyway, they had opportunity. We had one that I think was America Linked or whatever it was. And you remember that Obama had it where nobody could take a shot unless he approved it. Are you kidding me? You have people in place to do a job. You have people in place to defend the United States of America. They are well trained to do what they need to do. If somebody crosses the United States Navy, if some little speedboat loaded with bombs and explosives, or they're firing weapons off it, or so, I don't care what size it is. I don't care how it could be barely flying. It could be a John boat. I don't care. If somebody crosses into the safety and security zone after warning, you drop them where they are. There's not one speedboat for Iran or any other little knothead country over there that crossed into the American military's presence by air or by above sea or below sea that gets within that column of ships. If they get within a certain range, if they go, they have distances, they have all this, then you drop them where they are, and you tell the next one will be dropped the same way. They should never even get in range to put a shot anywhere on Navy. I don't care what the threat level is. You send the message, we're not going to put up with it. And we'll destroy your Navy if that's what you want to do. Why do we spend all the money we have as citizens of these United States to build the best fighting force in the world, in any world, and we don't let them do their job? That's ridiculous. You don't let these people do that. But we got everybody scared, and it's because of presidents like we've had Obama that said, oh, I want to call the shot. Well, you got the shot. You might only have one shot, and you got to go up the chain of command to get all the way to the president. And he goes, I don't know. I'm watching a basketball game right now. I'll let you know in a few minutes. And by then, it's over with. The shot's over. The only way that you can do that, you have rules of engagement. These are already in place. You have rules of engagement. And if people violate that, you have the okay to take care of the threat level. You don't have time to report back and say, hey, we've got some wackos are flying some, running some speedboats out here. Is that what happened to the USS Cole? Why would we let that little flotilla of whatever they were? I don't care what they were made out of. I know this. They blew a crap-sized hole in the side of a ship and hurt and killed American sailors. That should never happen, folks. That should never happen. You all understand that. You understand that. You do not let your men be hurt. You protect your own. You protect your equipment, you protect your people, and you protect the interest of the United States of America. If we have something sailing over to do trade with another nation, if we got to give them an escort, fine. We blast anybody out of the water that tries to stop that ship, because this belongs to the United States of America. They're United States citizens, and we're not going to allow you to mess with us. Why have a Navy? Why have an Air Force? Why would you let stuff like that happen? The president we have now understands that. The president right now has done something I've not seen a president do in a heck of a long time, and that is to even take over this tanker that was flying the Russian flags in the face of Russian assets. And you let them know, we're not going to put up with it. If you think you're going to go against our interests, if you think you're going to intimidate us, you're in trouble. Now, nobody wants war, but you stop war by showing strength. You don't stop war by going, oh, well, we better be careful here. We don't want to make our friends mad. We don't want to get our feathers ruffled here. I mean, who would put up with that as a neighbor? If you got a neighbor out of control hurting your kids, you're going to sit there and go, well, he destroyed my kid's bicycle. I guess I'll just be nice and let it go. No, you take care of the situation, whatever that needs to be. It's just amazing to me that we would ever do anything like that. Faith says, and yes, we live in times where these three people consider good evil and evil good. These folks live in the upside down. Absolutely. They never had daddy's belt. That's why they act like fools. No consequences. Well, that's amen to that too. I mean, but again, welcome to Monday. You're going to work. You're headed out. You got to deal with these people today, and you shouldn't have to. So I apologize for that. I took a little longer with that segment, but that's okay, because we just need to know on Monday. We got to remind ourselves when we go out in the public, we're going to meet, the enemies of God. We're going to meet the enemies of the United States. They're probably the same person. And, just be on guard. Let your spiritual antennas be up. Just know that you're going to run across some people today who they don't love God. They don't love America. And they certainly don't love you. And they're looking to do bad things today. Maybe in your wake. Maybe they're going to cross your path today. Just be ready for them, And hopefully soon we'll have the ability to call a number. I don't know what number we use. We got 911 for emergencies. What is it? 511 for, stuff on the road. What is it? Is it 211 for digging? Whatever it is. 311. I don't remember all the numbers. We need a number we call for crazy. We need a number that we just call it up. We say, yes, I'm on the highway. There's a group of people. They're trying to block the road. Okay, we're right there. We've already saw that. We got people en route. They'll be there in 30 seconds. We're gonna remove these people. We'll take them out of the way. Whatever. They're done. Their bones break like Kit Kat bars. Don't sweat it. Says Mr. 6'4" watchman. I think he's 6'4". Guitar player. There's the guitar player. Hey, I know what would have happened if Watchman was on the stage playing that guitar and some crazy wanted to come up on. It'd be like, it'd be the guitar swinging like an axe, splitting heads. Don't come on my stage. I was at the Ace Frehley show. I'm telling you, Bubba, I think he really did love Ace Frehley, but he got on the stage. He was going to go up. I was right there. I saw this in Atlanta, GA. He was going to get on stage. He was going to give old Ace a hug right in the middle of his solo. And here come Mr. Harley Davidson looking security guard. And he laid this guy out, knocked him out, dragged him off the stage. And Ace Frehley never missed a note. Looked back, was like, wow. Rest in peace, Ace. And Ace said, folks, I hope the guy's okay. I'm sure he probably likes me, but these guys are here to defend me. I never know. That's what he said. I never know when some crazy is going to jump on stage and has bad intention is going to hurt me. I pay these guys good money to come out and take care of the threat. Amen. If Ace Frehley can understand that on a stage in Atlanta, GA, a place where crazy can happen, then I think we all can understand that. If a threat level comes, you pay people to take care of that threat level. I don't want to have to deal with them. You know what? We shouldn't have to deal with them. We should just have people that come along, they take care of the crazy, and they move on. These people's car, what should have been collected and smashed, melted down, and used, for some other good reason. They should never have been able to. None of them. Every one of them. They should have been we should have a lot somewhere with a collection of cars that have been collected. Then number 2, they should have been in jail somewhere. Number 3 is Children's Protective Services should have been called up to find out if they have any access to anybody's kids, because these 2 freak ladies did not deserve to be around anybody's kids. In fact, we find out that one of them at least has been violent towards kids. These people are not good people. They're not good citizens. They're not good humans. They're not good women. They're not good Americans. They're not good for anything. And they did nothing but try to cause harm. And, they found out. And we need to have more of that. And the more you have that, then the less you're going to have people like that. And we need to start, engaging the troublemakers. Again, they were at the front of the column. If that's not allowed to happen, you never have the rest of the people pouring out of the house, saying blank you, threatening the officers, putting them all in harm's way. No, you just deal with it. You take care of that person, wherever they are, unless obviously they broke down. You don't break down. The people that said it was a mistake, she made an accident, she didn't mean to, she got scared. You are some kind of stupid. And you think that we're stupid if we're going to believe that, because we don't believe one bit of that crapola that this lady made some kind of a mistake, bless her heart, as we say in the South. No. She was a paid agitator. And I don't care that she listened to, hey, she made a decision to be with nutso woman, because the lady said, it's my fault. She didn't want to come. I made her come. She made a decision to listen to a nut. She made a decision to be with this person. She made a decision to go out there all day. And let me look, for all the people that say, well, she made her go. When she was blowing that horn and playing her little song, her last song of life, and was dancing to it in the front of the car, she was making decisions for her own self. And that's not the influence of anybody else. And if you do that, well, you made the decision anyway. That's what I read, man, putting the cigarettes on the kids' arms. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. Your money is their money, your children are their children, your freedom, their rights. They substitute truth for a lies. They're willing to sacrifice everything for their altars. Yes. Again, I got citizenship, but then later intentionally scam, harm to your fellow Americans. Citizenship revoked with jail time and a bill. Yeah. I mean, as I said, there is a responsibility. There's a podcaster in Atlanta. I don't know if she's still there. She tells it like it is. And she has a saying, if you're an American, act like it. I love that saying. In fact, I think I bought a mug from her that says that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely she should be arrested. Absolutely. That lady was outside the car trying to provoke the ICE. Oh, please. It's a good thing I'm not ICE. I'll just say that. If that lady who was like flexing on and dogging out the ICE, was saying bring it or whatever, she would have been on the ground if I'm there. I would. Again, they're walking around. Listen. I say a review needs to be made. I've watched every video that can be put out there that I've seen. And I have a question for ICE. Why is it in your protocol that you let this happen? This went on for minutes, and it had been going on for a while. And all these agents are outside their vehicle, walking around. Yes, they have weapons. But again, you don't know what kind of threat you're going to face. And you are walking around, and I know what's going on. They're making phone calls back to somebody going, we got a little bit of radio traffic anyway we've been able to get. But, what's going on? Listen, that right there is putting people's lives in danger. You don't know what that neighborhood, they already hate you. They don't want you there. It's just filled with that kind of populace. In my neighborhood, I'd be clapping. Anybody want some coffee? I know you're busy, but hey, here you go. Thanks for taking this trash. And my understanding is they were going after somebody who was a sexual deviant, had done some things bad. Not only was the problem with the citizenship, but had committed crimes against sexual crimes, and that's what they're defending. But anyway, they're making phone calls. Well, what do we do about this? And all these agents. And remember, why are you even out of the car? Why are you even out of the car? Is that some sort of protocol that you get out and just mill around? It's not cigarette break time, okay? We got a threat level going on here. They need to have a little more urgency about what they're doing. They're putting people's lives in danger. If you are sent into an area, you're already a little keyed up. You bring enough firepower to do what you got to do, and you deal with the issues quickly. You do not let that kind of thing happen. And I think there needs to be a review by ICE leadership, and I think the president would back it all the way up the chain. I'm sure if there's somebody that's not, they need to be removed. You should not have your employees put in a situation where they're on the street with people, because that can get ugly. Hey, rocks still hurt. Things that are being thrown can still hurt. It could be more. I do security. Your vehicle is part of your defense. Those vehicles have a little more, I'm sure, defense with the windows and stuff like that. Being out walking around like that, that's bad protocol. I mean, do we do that in Fallujah? Is that what happens in Fallujah? Because some of our areas in our country have turned into, Baghdad, Fallujah. I mean, they've turned into bad places. Is that the way we did in Venezuela when we flew in to get, dude? No. And again, nobody wants to see weapons turned on their citizens, but I'm telling you, just don't allow your citizens, your officers to be put in that kind of shape. That's bad. I mean, any idiot can see that. I mean, I'm not a military strategist, but I know threat levels, and I know if I'm in a situation like that, bad things can happen. The longer you linger there, the longer that you're trapped there, and that's the intent. It's slowing you down, but it's also let others get involved. The longer you keep these men and women sitting there, the more bad things are going to happen. And there needs to be a review of that. So there's a couple of things that needs to happen here. And again, I would put the biggest, baddest vehicle in the head of the column, and they can handle any threat load that they need with the ability to call up. And at the end of the column, just like, hey, it's sad to say, but we're living in that environment right now. We got to think about this in a whole new way. This is like we're rolling through the streets of Baghdad. We got to think about what threats are coming at us. We need defense at the beginning of the column. We need defense at the end of the column. I had a friend I worked with for years. He did 5 tours between Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, he was not a frontline soldier, but he was a fighter. He was guarding supply lines. And he either drove the truck that was making delivery, or he was driving the vehicle of defense. And one day, they had a car came up beside them on the sands, rolling across the sands while he's in defense of that column. They had Marines that were coming up to support. They were back a little bit, but they had a threat come up where there was a carload of people, and they're all firing AK-47s at him as they go by. Well, he was at the he saw them. He neutralized the threat. In fact, he got 2 of them with one shot. That's an excellent shot. But I think there were 4 people in the car. He took out all the people that was firing guns. They kept going. But notice what I said. They kept going. The column keeps moving. You don't stop. They took care of the threat. The column keeps moving. Later, the Marines come up. They do the verification. They were coming up, but by the time they got there, it was already over. But they verified the scene. Anyway, they caught up with them later, and that's when they told him. They said, "Hey, good shooting. You got 2 of them with one shot." And the only thing that was, they made him feel bad. And I told him, "You did your duty." They had a kid in the car. Well, they were training him to be a terrorist. That's what they were doing. And so he felt bad about that. I mean, he felt really bad. It really messed with him. And I told him, I said, "Listen, I know I can't change how you feel, but I'm going to tell you what, I'm proud of you. You did your duty. You protected that whole column." And, they put themselves in that position. And he did what he had to do. And we got to rethink about how we're doing. I mean, how long before they block off, in some areas of our country, how long before they just block off the front, so every escape, and they just open up on some of our, federal agents doing their job? We're very close to that right now. We are absolutely very close to that right now. Let me catch up a little bit here. Let's see. Where am I here? Let's see here. Dave. would clothesline. Faith, I've seen a lot of narcissistic police with bad training. Sure, it makes some bad calls. The SIS agent wasn't one of those. I've seen all the videos, frame by frame, these people disputing this, what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Sure, they know what they're doing. 5 tours here as well. God bless you. Also pulled convoy security in Baghdad. You absolutely know. And if I say something wrong, you correct me because I wasn't there. But I'm telling you, I understand this. And, you have to protect that column. That's your job. Good morning. Last No Kings protest set record with 7 or so million. Indivisible.org is used as the contact for when and where to protest. So, yeah, and they're getting organized right here in their own country. They used kids a lot back in the 2000s. Yes. And good morning to you. Yes, stolen. God bless you. So, yeah, hey, I get it. I got to go to court this morning. My son's going to be appearing. I'm hoping he can get some things worked out in his situation. Y'all pray for him. He's in jail because he broke the rules of the land. I hate he's away. He broke the rules. He has an addiction problem that got him again, and he broke laws, and he has served we're almost a year now in prison. And this is the first time he's ever been to prison. It's hard on his family, but I certainly support what had to happen because he had become a menace to society. That's hard for me as a dad, and we love him, and we hope, we hope this is the time he'll learn from that. But he had to be taken out of society because he wasn't living by the rules of the land. He's a grown person, and that's hard. But we understand that, and we support that because without law, you have chaos. Without law, people just do whatever they want, wherever they want, however they want. And there are people in our land that are they're firmly nutso, and they want to do bad stuff to us, and they want to say that it is their right to do it. Well, no, we're here to say you're not going to do it. We have laws, and you're going to have to abide by those laws like everybody else. So, absolutely, we're just not going to allow it to happen. And it just doesn't matter. I had a lady, and she's a nutso lady. I was doing security one day, and she told me she could have blown me away just because I walked up to her car to find out what she was doing behind a store. And I said, under what rule of law is that? She said, my own. I don't live by the laws of the land. I said, well, okay. I said, lady, let me tell you something. I said, you're not long for this life living with that kind of thought process. I'm glad I'm still walking today because I'm not armed, But I said, if there's going to be somebody come up, and if you think that you're going to engage them just because they're questioning why you're behind a building or whatever, and you think you're going to walk, you're going to be carried. You're going to be carried somewhere, and then you're going to have final words said over your grave because that's what's going to happen. Have a nice day. I hope that works out for you. Not because it's not going to work out. Crazy, absolutely crazy. She told me that just for walking up to my car, I could blow you away, and there's nothing could happen just because I perceive your threat. Now, come on, you're on private property. You're not on the road. This is not road rage. You're not. I don't have a weapon. I'm not coming up screaming at you. I'm just seeing what you're doing. You're on private property. This is not your property. People are crazy. I'm telling you, man. And imagine how many people are, my God, in the schools teaching or something like that. How many, they're everywhere. They may be working at the local bank. They may be, a counselor that's working for the, child protective service. You never know. There's just nutsos out there. Do they always do their due diligence and background checks to check for these people to see what kind of nut, they are? That don't always work. And so, unfortunately, as I said off the top, we got to deal with them. Happy Monday. I hope I don't run into any this today, but there is a high probability. By the way, before we get out of here, National Day today, I always cover this. Today is Kiss a Ginger Day. Well, I don't know if you have a ginger in your life, but Kiss a Ginger Day. It's also National Clean Off Your Desk Day. Is your desk I probably do need to clean my desk up here. I've got some things I need to organize. It's National Curried Chicken Day, and it's also National Pharmacist Day. So I don't know if you got to go see your pharmacist today. Say, hey, it's National Pharmacist Day and National Marzipan Day, Confection Day, basically day. So there's all your days today. is the birthday of, just got to love him, Jeff Bezos, 61 years old today. I say that, I don't mean that. Howard Stern, what another nutcase. I like some of the music he's had on his show, but that's another nutcase. 71 today. He looks older than that, honestly, but 71 years old today. Rob Zombie, 60 years old today. You'll recognize that name. In memory of Kirstie Alley, still hard to believe she's dead, was born on this day in 1951, is also her birthday today, so in memory of her. It is Joe Frazier's birthday. He left us in 2011. Joe Frazier. It is his birthday today. So if it is your birthday today, happy birthday. Also for our verse today is Hebrews 10:24, and let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to do good works. Hebrews 10:24 this morning. Want to make sure we get those in. Broski, good morning to you. No Kings, but they all voted for Kamala, who was even voted to be the Democratic candidate. Oh, the lefties have a new chart that they're sending around. Have you saw this? Oh, they're just so excited about this little chart. Apparently, there's only 2 states in the union that voted 100% across the whole state for a candidate. I haven't researched this. This is lefty loony crap. They use Oklahoma for the president, and they use was it New Hampshire? I can't remember now. It might have been New Hampshire for Kamala. And then they listed things under that, like for Oklahoma, 44th in education. So they go down all this thing. And then they go to New Hampshire, number 1 in education, number 1 in this, number 1 in this. They said, see, you bunch of dummies over in Oklahoma. See what you're dealing with? Oh, look, this is what the problem we got in the country. Oh, they're throwing that around the internet today. Oh, yeah. No kings, but they love Maduro, who was a dictator. I like that you said was, because he's not anymore. Well, he's kind of a dictator of his cell. He's the only one in there, and he can dictate to all the cockroaches and rats or anything else that may come in what they can and can't do. I don't think the rats will listen to him, but hey, if that's what he wants to do. Yeah, he has been deposed. And God bless all I get that they're not Christians. I get that they're not, but all the people in Iran who are putting their lives on the line to tell these mullahs to hit the road, I applaud you. They are doing everything they can. They've shut off all the internet. They've shut off all banking. They told the army and the police to open fire on all the people, and they've not done it. Very limited have they done that. There are some people that's been killed, but most of the military and stuff has said, no, we're not doing that. And so, in fact, I think they're joining the the chorus of people getting out. The mullahs are scared. They should be. Russia's door. Yeah, they've got travel brochures for Russia. Moscow waits for you. They could go join Bashar Assad and anybody else that's Russia's their home. They're looking for dictator types. They're looking for some people to play Scrabble with or dominoes or something. The mullahs can go and live in Russia, but I think they're just about to be run out of that country. So the people are turning out in force. They've had enough. They say, we want to have more freedom. We want to be able to dress while we want to dress, live our lives. We don't like you. We don't like your rules. We don't like what you're doing. Get the heck out. So, the last time this happened, there was a lot of deaths. The president has warned Iran not to turn the weapons on the people. So it looks as though, and by the way, I love this. There was a guy reporting. I went to his live the other night. He goes, don't call this a protest. This is not a protest. This is a fight for freedom. This is a fight to have freedom in our country. This is not a protest. We have been under this wave of evil and blah 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 for a long time, and we need something to happen. Yes, yeah. Hopefully, Iran does the thing. I just love to see the mullahs running for their life. Running down. These guys are evil, man. And hopefully, it won't be as evil or whatever that replaces them. Hopefully, they can become a more normal country or whatever. I feel bad for them. Think about the young girls. The young girls that have been tortured and killed in that country because they dared to stand up and say, I'm not going to wear the thing around my face and all this stuff. I'm not living by your rules anymore, and I'm fighting for freedom. These people that were martyred for standing up for the rights that God affords us all, that we should have freedom and can have freedom. Good morning, Jake. Sorry I missed you last night, man. I was looking for an email from you, and we'll get together, buddy. I was kind of busy last night with my wife, and I wasn't feeling the best. It was, I don't know, I felt achy. But I'm gonna send you a note today, and we'll get that in. But good morning to you from the great state of Mississippi. Broski says the number when I heard it was like 36, 500 killed, 10,000 in prison in Iran so far. I hope they keep the pressure up. He fell asleep early last night. I understand, buddy. Hey, no problem, man. I felt bad myself. We just both needed rest, I guess. I kind of did the same thing. But yeah, hopefully they'll keep up the pressure, keep going, and God bless freedom wherever it's at. The president has also, put deal, said to Cuba and to Colombia and others, you better make a deal. And so we'll discuss more tomorrow. Are we going to take over Greenland? Are we going to take over Greenland? What are the next steps for the president? The midterms are coming. We're getting closer. The special election in Georgia, March 10th here. We had Miss Jenna on, Turnip Seed. She came into the studio with us, and really enjoyed speaking with her. There is her picture of her military service, and then her. I've got her sign in my yard. I said, go ahead and put it out there. And I appreciate her coming on. How about those Bears? Yeah, a little quick shout out to sports. I got to give them credit. Down by 18, turned it around and came back. So we'll have our sports show Wednesday, and racing. Looking forward to that. But yeah, and the Eagles went down. Oh, the Philly boys went down. Oh, I thought they were going to make a comeback. They didn't. The Rams made a comeback. Saw some nice games. And we have Miami against Indiana, and Indiana's going to win. I'm sorry, Frank, my brother-in-law. I'm not saying Miami's bad. This will be a good game. I think Indiana wins it all. Greenland will be another welfare state to pay for. Well, that could possibly happen. But, do we take it? Do we buy it? What's going to happen there? Alberta wants to secede too. We should take them. I didn't know that. Maybe I heard a little bit about that, Yeah, we'll talk about that. We got some states. There's some counties want to peel away in at least 3 states. They want to peel away from the crazies that they're having to deal with every day. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. As you look at, counties in Oregon and Colorado, there are 2 of them I know that want to peel away. They said, this state don't represent us. I mean, it's really the cities, man. This. It's the cities. The cities have fallen. They've all went lefty-loony, and there are conservatives in the cities, but there's not enough of them. And so they just sweep the elections for the whole state. And, they just drive all that. And that's, Georgia's teetering. I mean, it's very, very close. But, yeah, those are things we can talk about this week as we look at the news and some things that are going on in the world. But, yeah, I did over the weekend, Miss Danielle Lohner, who was on the show with us, dirt track driver from Ringgold, Georgia. Thank her for reaching out. Our racing logo, which you kind of see a little bit of it right here. Was that it right there? There it is, right there. A little bit there. That logo will be on her car. We're working out the details, and on shirts that they're going to sell. Support this young lady. I love all these dirt track drivers. That's now a regular feature of our racing show, the Dirt Report. And we have our own Facebook page for that. It is of the same name, the SFP Racing Hour Podcast. That is also we have 3 Facebook pages for different aspects of the podcast. And we're growing every day. We are in discussions in the near future to have our own app and stuff, for use in certain areas. And so these are things we're working on. We're trying to get there. And just, putting those things out there. I want to thank everybody for stopping by today. Have a blessed day, really. Let's pray for our country, pray for those who are not ready to meet Jesus today, and be safe out there. I live in a pretty good area. I don't have to deal with, but you know what? Crazy is crazy everywhere, man. I mean, it just happens. Hopefully it's not. I was thinking about going to court. And I remember the first time I ever got called for jury duty. I was 21 years old. I got called for jury duty. And that's been 40 years ago this year. 40 years ago this year, I was called for jury duty. First time. I didn't know a clue what I was going to have. I just showed up, got my notification, showed up. I was sitting there, and a guy in a suit. I sit on the front row. I'm going to be up where I can hear and find out what's going on. Little did I know, I didn't know the clerk at that time had a voice that sounded like God speaking. And anybody's from this area that's been had to go to jury duty in Catoosa County, Georgia, you know what I'm talking about. I've seen women cry just to hear their name called. Keep your barnyard animals monitored. Anyway, this guy comes up to me, introduces himself, really nice. He says, my name, blah, blah, blah. He said, I'm suing the federal government. I need character witnesses. Will you sign? That was the first person that talked to me, and the first time I'd ever been in a courtroom in my life, and for jury duty. I thought, what the heck did I just walk into? I said, no, sir, I don't think I'm being arrested in being a part of that, for I don't even know you. Don't forget, we're brought to you by Wolf Nation Coffees. Wolf Nation Coffees. Get yours today. We have the QR code this week. All those QR codes are going to be put back up. I had to redo some of the titles and stuff for Mammoth Nation. We got Fruit Hero on with us now. The Hodge twins. We got Patriot Mobile, which all my phones are on, and Dubby energy drinks. I have been into my Dubby, man. I got into my Dubby, promo code Southern Fried. No shakes, no jitters, no sugar, no crash. This tastes great. This is the punch flavor, and you get 10% off using promo code Southern Fried. We get all those back up, the family of stuff. Pray for Biscuit Boy. I think he's going to be able to be on with me maybe once this week. He's got a out-of-town affair to go to. Dean is feeling better. Dean's be in the house come Wednesday. He's working, I think, today, tomorrow. Wednesday evening, we'll have the racing show and also the sports. And we'll talk about all these wonderful games and predictions coming up. We'll see how we did. The Atlanta Falcons fired everybody except also they need to fire the owner. He needed to be gone. I think they've hired Matt Ryan, this made-up position. But, hey, I think it's good to have something like that along for the ride. Hopefully they'll make the right kind of hire. Where does Harbaugh go? Those are questions to be answered. Where does he go? What players are going to leave the college teams and go to other college teams for money, because it happens at this time of year always. So we'll talk about that and much more in the shows to come. I got a couple of shows I'm going to add in today. I'm not working today because it depends on when I get out of court with my son. But I was looking at, I moved a couple things to today that I wasn't able to get to this weekend. And so we have flexibility in schedule today. Tomorrow night is the pet show. Tomorrow night is the pet show at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. with the cat lady, Southern Claws and Paws pet show. Send us your pet pictures and or videos to southernclawspaws@gmail.com, southernclawspaws@gmail.com. We'll get those on the air for you. Thank you for all of everyone in Instagram this morning. We see your names, and we appreciate you for stopping by, and anybody else and everywhere else that you are. And if I've got a screen covered up, I'm sorry. I think I've got everybody I've seen. Hopefully everybody is. I've called all messaging. Want to make sure I do that. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you for that. Pray for my wife as well. Her health, she's struggled since the 2 light strokes and just trying to get stronger. She's had her challenges, but she loves the podcast and supports and everything. And it means a lot for my wife to, she's done a lot. My whole family is supportive and loves what we do. We got to get the puppets going again and get them up there a little bit more. We have fun with them. We're going to be adding to the puppets as well. The Ascending Group will be hopefully doing a show here soon talking about financial, helping out in your finances. They're not looking for money. They make their money off with the companies they do business with, but they can help you fill in the holes of get your financial plan. This is weird times. Never know what's going to happen. Protect your money, protect your investment. It's your money. Keep as much of it you can. They can help you do that. And, they're going to Nashville to celebrate with other people because that's what they're doing all over the country. And people have become millionaires. They worked hard. And, you want to protect that money and invest it in the right ways and not crazy ways, and protect your money. Appreciate the work that they're doing. Keep ascending. Wolf Nation. We appreciate Wolf Nation. Remember the wolf nose. The fan mail, Cornbread Nation. Boy, that's been crazy. We have had a lot of people commenting on that. And by the way, if you have not watched the whole interview, you need to. This is not I'm not trying to get views or clicks or none of that crap. But the Chris McDaniels, the 45, 50 minutes we have with him, he just reported in that 31 men were saved. 31 men were saved at a meeting he was at this weekend. They have a meeting today, a wild game meeting or something. I think it is today. They got the deer heads up. Pray that many more are saved today as these men come in and come to this meeting. But to hear his testimony within that, Chris McDaniel, just look it up. It's still out there. I know it stores out. It will still be out there on our Facebook page. They drop them after like 30 days. But our YouTube channel, it'll be on our Rumble channel. It'll be on our X channel. They don't drop them out. Take that thing and share it. I've had a lot of people commenting about his references to cocaine and what he was going through. Had a gentleman say that he went through 3 years of that, the horrible addiction of cocaine, and how he's praising God for bringing him out of that, and he's living for the Lord, much like Chris. That was a long time ago, but he's working with people like that have been, enslaved to addiction, and just giving them the answer in Jesus Christ. Hey, we've all had a past. We've all had times we didn't walk the way we needed to for whatever the reason. Let's have compassion. Let's pray for people. I've got things in my past I cringe at, it's like, but then I remember God's forgotten it all. He's forgave me for all. And to heck with people that want to remind me of it, I don't care. You know what? Go talk to my defense attorney about it. His name is Jesus. Go talk to him about it. He'll take care of it. I really don't care. I don't have nothing to say. I got nothing to say. That's what people remind you of your past. I got nothing to say. My answer is Jesus. That's it. I don't need another answer. I'm a card-carrying follower of Jesus. This is whom I serve. Amen. He's got me. I'm a winner either way. To the crazies out there, you want to take me out? You just, I'm just going on. I'm going on to be with Jesus. You know what? If that happens today, don't weep for me. Pray for my family. Don't weep for me. I'll be with the Lord. So by my time frame to leave this life, whether it's by health or whatever else, car accident, you never know what's going to happen. Just know I'm okay. Pray for my family, help them, make sure they're where they need to be. But have a great day out there. Keep a smile, rejoice. Always keep your joy, rejoicing. You might not always be happy, but rejoice. If you don't have rejoicing and joy in your life, that's just a prayer away. Let's lift somebody's spirits today. You might be the smile today that keeps somebody in this world a little longer, or makes them go towards Jesus Christ. Be that person of reason today for America. You're going to run into somebody that's got crazy ideas. We don't have to argue. We just make a statement. Facts are facts. You know what? It's okay. You're going to be called names today. It's okay. It's all right. Jesus was called all sorts of things. They made accusations about him. They brought false witness against him. They hated him first. They're going to hate us. He warned us of this. So let's not be surprised that we got some crazies out there that are going to go crazy because we say we're a Christian, or we go to some church, or we talk about a scripture. We're praying over our food or whatever. We just remind everybody, you do you, I'll do me, And I still remember my granddaughter, God bless her, just a little thing, praying over her food, and the crazies getting mad because they were forced, as they said, to hear my granddaughter praying over food. And that basically the answer was tough. You don't like it, tough. And so, yeah, thanks for the follow there on Rumble. and we appreciate you. Again, I've said it a bunch of times, but I do want you to know that without you, there is no show. And if Brother Daryl, by the way, if you want to come on and share a word about the Lord Jesus, you come on, brother. Just contact me. My information's all out there. I like to just have those conversations about the Lord Jesus. We went to school together, and I know he's out there fighting the good fight for the Lord Jesus. And just like Chris, we just have a conversation. Thank you, Vernon, for the like as well. Come on and talk Jesus. Yeah, and if you got something to say, we do keep it family friendly. If you want to come on and talk about your business or talk about an issue, it's a link away, or you can come in studio. That's why we have it. So just let me know. We can do that. And we'll see you soon. I will be on this afternoon. I just don't know what time I'm going to get out of court. We will do today. We will do history show. My gosh. It's just been crazy this last week or so. We're going to talk about the Rock of Chickamauga. Yeah, the blue belly. We got to look at history, the blue belly, the Rock of Chickamauga. Yes, we're going to talk about the general on the Union side. No, we cover it. We talk about all history from the Chickamauga National Battlefield where he was made famous. George Thomas, Major General George Thomas, in the music show. Finally, part 5. It's my last part, I think, for now. I got to move on. I could keep going, but we got to move on. But I'm going to do part 5, Def Leppard, and talk about all those crazy memories of mine and the band. We're right up to Adrenalize. We'll talk about that album and kind of move forward a little bit, kind of finish up. Then we're going to move on to Bot. You need to settle down. Well, they're just having fun. Watchmen, bless you. By the way, I watched, oh man, I could never think of the dude's name, the guitar player. I was just talking to him last night, man. Man, he was playing, I caught the tail end of his show. I'm going to reach out to him today. I'm going to see if I can get him to. This guy's got 77,000 plus YouTube followers, man. He deserves it, man. He's ripping and shredding. I didn't know he was East Coast. For some reason, I thought he was West Coast, but he lives on the East Coast. I didn't know that, Watchman. Mr. Ruben, what is his name? Yeah, he'll post it. This guy is a shredder. Rick. What's his last name again? He's follow him on YouTube. He just plays, man. He just plays. Beautiful Jackson guitars. He's got a new guitar. It might not be your kind of music. I don't know. I like to hear a screaming guitar. I still like that. You can fault me if you want to. I don't care. Renstrom. Rick Renstrom. Check him out on YouTube. He's a nice guy. I don't know if he knows Jesus, but hey, you can pray for him. But he's a very respectful young man. I say young. Everybody's young when you get older. You say young man. He's a shredder, man. This guy, I have a great respect for him. Born with, I don't know how you describe it. I mean, he has fingers and he has arms, but they're not normal like like mine. And he can do things with his much more than I can do with mine, and mine are normal. He's an overcomer, and I like people that are overcomers. He didn't let. It's not a disability because he's not disabled. This guy just uses what God gave him, and he's making it work. Where we cry, we got everything that we are supposed to have, all 10 fingers, 10 toes, whatever. This guy's just amazing talent, and I just appreciate that. He's number 52 on the top 100 Christian guitarist list. Okay, I didn't know that. Watchman, did not know that. But wow, this guy, I forget that he has. I mean, he has what, 3 I don't. Is it 4 fingers or 3 fingers on the left hand? But that he is able to make those notes, which I need about 8 more to just do what, even touch the notes. I couldn't play them like him anyway. And he's just shredding up and down the fretboard, and beautiful, beautiful melodies. And I like that he has that. I don't want to hear it fast constantly. I like a ebb and flow. I like music. I love to hear the riff of that, the soul of it, whatever you want to say. He has that, and he's just a nice guy. So I don't mind promoting somebody like that. And he's always really good to give a shout out to the people that come in the chat. Really a nice guy. Works hard, and just good dude. And I like to promote that. That's all good. I got to go. I really do got to go. It's been nice to be here. I didn't even drink all my coffee. It's gotten cold, so I got to freshen that up. Drink some more coffee. He can nail Ingwe. Well, he can. I've heard him do it, man. I've heard him do it. The guy can nail it. He can. And he's a nicer guy than Ingwe. Can I say that? I think Ingwe's a little In fact, he said the other night, his wife, they will get you kicked off if you play his stuff. He has to just throw it in a little bit every once in a while. To me, it should be an honor. He's playing his stuff, But anyway, people like that. It's what was Dio's wife too, Wendy. He don't know arms. I mean, anyway, you just have to see it. I don't know how to describe it other than you just need to see it. To describe it, I will butcher the attempt. But go there, if nothing else, just to watch. If you don't want to even listen, turn the sound down and watch this guy. I mean, it's really a blessing to watch. He's got videos out there. You can go over there, go to YouTube, put in the Rick Renstrom, and just look at what this guy can do. And he's not complaining. He's just living life. He's happy. And I appreciate Watchman for putting me on that. I really enjoy it. I've been blessed by interacting with him. And I don't know that he will. I would just like him to come on, not to play, just to talk about his story. And he don't have hands like us. That's a good way to put it. He don't have hands like us. But I'm going to tell you what he has, he is killing it. God bless him. And you know what? I have great respect. It's like Rick Allen. I have great respect for people. My new greatest thing, I saw videos of it. I don't know who the guy is. Have you seen the guy that has the little fake robot head or whatever? It's like a ventriloquist, but with music, with a guitar. I don't know how to describe that either. I'm a sucker for stuff like that. It cracks me up. Yeah, he is amazing. He is amazing. I got to go. It's time to take the kids. They're probably wondering where I'm at. We're out. Salute. They're out on a cold morning going, where are you at, Pawpaw? Papaw. See y'all. We'll see you this afternoon. God bless. God bless America. And God bless you. We'll see you soon.